So we've been through a lot of this thing already. Eventually we got to put a new radiator in it. But I think today's project is, even though it's running on 6 volt, there's a lot of stuff like gauges or extra lights or anything you just can't do with this thing. When you're out and about trying to find 6 volt stuff, good luck. So let's get this thing all converted over to 12 volt. I think overall it's looking pretty good though. It's pretty much a tractor. Alright, so what all does this entail? So we bought a kit. It's pretty basic wiring. Not a fan of the unit bracket, but for right now it is what it is. Pretty much a 1-wire alternator. Got to replace ignition coil, starter relay. It came with a gauge, but I don't know if I'm going to use that or the gauge that I have. They want a 100 amp fuse in there, so I just bought these 100 amp circuit breakers that will wire in, wiring up to the battery. And then I have to put a new electric fuel pump in it because this runs electric right now. And we'll put the amp gauge here. By the way, it's running about 40 pounds of pressure, so that's good. We did this so that I could run stuff like a tack or 12 volt lighting or any of that stuff that you really can't. Now I have to put a new blower motor in. It was seized up anyway, but on this old dude there's not a lot you have to put on there to make it run 12 volt. Probably I'll have to change out the headlights, but really not much. And then most of that will go away. It'll stay in place until this thing's up and running, and then I'll pull all the old 6 volt stuff out. Alright, eventually we're going to have to put a new battery box in here, but let's get rid of the 6 volt first. 6 volt battery, that is. See if I can get it without touching anything. Okay, so there's that. So the video also doubles up in case I got to put this stuff all back on where everything goes. So everything works. I mean, it was charging 6 volt. We had to get in and do some work to the generator, but we got it working. Okay, a little diversion here. I don't know if you can see this right there. There's a crack. And that's the actual main motor mount there. So we're going to have to drill it on the end, fill this back in, sand it off, and get back to the install. Alright, so this is going to be a really weird, really off-angle weld, so it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world. Most of that's getting ground off. Okay. Let me show you what we're using. So we're still using the old MiG, was it 205 DS? Does a good job. Does a really good job. All right. Let's grind this off and get back to installing an alternator. Same as with the camera used. All right, so day 2. I think I've got everything where it needs to be. Got the weld all cleaned up. Let me show you how we had to get the bracket. But I can't get all the bolts in, so let me show you what we did with that. So I'll get that off of there, and we'll make a comparison back to the generator because, well, it was engineered to be there. I'll show you how I got that alternator in the same rough spot without just guessing. All right, so let me show you how I got this thing set up. The easiest way, so if you're setting one of these up, I mean, this universal bracket's nice, I guess, but it's a soup sandwich of stuff that can get you out of alignment fast. So I just laid a straight edge across the pulley. The pulleys are roughly the same. And if you go to the inside mount, and we're roughly 2 1/8 inches. So then I just took had too much crap on my bench. Just took the pulley and just set this up at the same 2 1/8 inches to here. And then we know what this is here. You know, this is about 6 11/16. So then, you know, just did about the same here, but we're going to the outside on this one versus the inside. So I had it mounted in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I can't get a bolt. The bolt head hits here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to grind off a little of that coating. I'm going to throw a couple tacks on this, and then we'll put that back in to make sure. If it does, then we'll glue it all together, because if this thing starts coming unbolted, man, it's going to be a mess. Alright, and if that ends up being the right spot, then we'll probably grind those off, and I'll take it over and I'll put a nice TIG weld on the edges, but for now, that'll work. Alright, so one thing you got to watch when you put this on is the rotation of the alternator. Now on this bracket you're going to mount down here, if it's all the way back, then it's going to rotate this enough to where this adjusting bracket's going to hit the fins on the alternator. So you have to watch that. When you put it on at first, it looks like, yeah, it's not going to fit. But we went in and bought some spacers at the local hardware store. So I think that's where that's going to be. And we'll get it running before I pull it off and actually weld it. Alright, so on to the wiring. Alright, so we got everything installed. I wasn't going to drag you through all the wiring because self-admittedly I'm not the great at wiring, so I had to figure it out for myself a little bit. So we removed the regulator, which it's got some wear and tear on it. Got the generator on it. And we got the generator out of it. Now I showed you how to line up the mounts, and in the instructions, if you print those out, it kind of is a similar thing. So let me show you what we did here. So we got everything in. So a couple of the key points: make sure you run good grounds. These old beasts, they're notorious for bad grounds. So, you know, I've got this ground strap here that I grounded down to the alternator because it wasn't happy when I first did it because it wasn't grounded right. Got everything tied back. So a couple things I've done is I've added these ground straps here, and I'll get to some of the other stuff I've done inside. But so it needed a 100 amp breaker or fuse, so I put this little handy little, you just click it, and that's all you got to do. And if it throws, you just reset it. I had to change out the starter relay. Obviously a 6 or a 12 volt coil. I keep on saying 6 volt. And once I changed out the electric fuel pump, my pressure went up to like 13 psi. So I got to put this regulator on it because the new carburetor only wants about 6. And if you run too much pressure on a carburetor, well, you'll flood them out. So let me show you what we did inside. Okay, so in here also, I put in a little ground block so everything can be grounded out. Now that comes with the voltage regulator because you can't use the... So it comes with the voltage gauge. You can't use the old voltage regulator or amp gauge that came on it. So this old beast didn't have an amp gauge on it. So when you put the new voltage gauge on it, I took out the old, I guess you just call it the amp gauge. I don't know why that's so hard to say. And it just lights up a light on the speedometer. So I took that out because you don't want to run all the new amperage through that. And inside of here, it's up on that mount for the steering wheel. They want a 10 volt or a 10 amp. I'm having a hard time with that. They wanted a 10 amp fuse. So I found these little pigtails. Basically it just takes these little blade style fuses, put it on there, come with the mount, and when you're all done, it just clips on wherever you want. No fuss, no muss. Makes it pretty easy install. So now I can run everything that I want 12 volt, because it's really hard to find 6 volt stuff. Now I did have to change the headlights. I turned on a couple times with the 12 volt and I burnt them out. So you will have to change your headlights out, and obviously battery, and then just, so this old beast had to be totally rewired anyway, so she's all rewired now. But make sure that you ground out the way you're supposed to, otherwise it ain't be happy. And this yellow line, this kit came from Kaiser Willys. This will go to your ignition side of your starter, your key. Make sure when you take out your voltage regulator that you don't remove that battery line. That battery line needs to go to it, otherwise you'll get nothing. That's what I did. I took that off and couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting nothing. Then had to backtrack everything, and then I realized, oh, dummy, you took out the battery line. But go through, buy some good connectors and everything. So this is a voltage gauge that comes with it. I just used the one that was in that set that I had. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but so I'll keep all of my old 6 volt stuff in case I ever come across another one I need parts for. And then just buy some good connectors. I use these connectors that's got these shrink fit ends on it, and I temporarily pull the steering wheel. It makes it much easier to get in and out of. But overall, it's a fairly easy install, and well, that way if I ever gotta jump it or do anything out on the road or any of that, well, it's nice and easy now. I can use jump packs or whatever. So I'm going to get this voltage regulator on, and I'll show you how she runs. And she's running, you know, about 14.4, somewhere in there. We'll back choke off a little bit here. Get everything hooked up to the lights. We got actual lights now, not like little dim sticks. Let's see how much pressure we got on our gauge now. So we're running about 8 psi, and we backed it off a little bit. Get that down to about 6. There we go. Alright, so it's a pretty easy install. If you're good at wiring, then this will be right up your alley. Just make sure you don't rip all the wiring out until you get everything in. In case there's an issue, you can always go back. But like I said, they got the kit from Kaiser Willys. So we get key parts from Kaiser Willys and a Jeepster band, both. Check both those guys out. Hope you like this. Hope you like some of the Willis stuff. See you here in the next video.